The scene is now set for a championship cold and classic, with a result to defy logic.
Hubert Green putting at the 12th. And what a beautiful putt by Green. Green, of course, the former US Open champion, and a hint perhaps there of the might of the American challenge here at Lytham.
But this is early in the championship, and the Americans don't have history on their side. At first, Royal Lytham looks a joke of a seaside links. It's now half a mile from the sea, with houses, roads and a railway in between. Deep down, of course, it's classic links land. But not all professionals like it, certainly not all Americans, and especially when, as this week, a northwesterly blusters across it, adding more infamy to the fierce 5 finishing holes. An American professional has never won here. Of those from elsewhere who have, 4 are here again. But while links don't change your age, golfers do. And Bob Charles from New Zealand and Tony Jacklin from Britain are outsiders. And Australia's Peter Thompson is nearly 50 and playing, he says, his last Open. And Gary Player from South Africa, the most recent winner here in 1974, is old enough now in his mid-40s to watch his 17-year-old son Wayne in the preceding pair, hitting his first shot in his first British Open.
And it looks as if it could be in trouble. Pulled it left and catches the sand.
Player Jr. destined to take 4 at this first par 3 hole. No doubt his father will show him how it should be done.
And there is the great man, opening tee shot from Gary Player. No, he's going left as well, and I do believe he may be in the same bunker, and he is, and so it really is like father, like son.
A hint perhaps that this will not be Player's year. Well, whose will it be? On the first 2 days, the championship runs through its classic traditions like annual pantomime. There is, as so often, the surprise early leader, the joker in the pack. This year, Bill Longmuir, who's won only 1 tournament in his life, in Nigeria 3 years ago. Longmuir, English-born of Scottish parents, leads with 65 after 1 round and will lie 3rd after 2. And on this second day, another tradition is played out, the gradual closing of the pack of the world's top players.
And here's one of them, Tom Watson, the favourite. In trouble at the 12th. And that is why he's one of the greatest players in the world and favourite here this week. Beautiful shot.
Watson on his way to a 68 and 2 under par for 2 rounds.
But now at 3 under and coming to the final hole, a very good par 4, it's Seve Ballesteros from Spain. Difficult second shot. On the downslope, near the bunker. And he whips that 9-iron through from a very awkward spot. It's on line. Look at this one. Could it go in the hole? One hesitates to say vintage stuff at the age of 22, but my word, vintage stuff indeed. He's had a great run, in fact, over the last few holes, partnered today by Lee Trevino and Ken Brown. He's gone birdie, birdie, par birdie over the last 4 holes. Now, can he get another one here at the 18th? He can indeed. Beautiful round of 65 today, 4 under par for the 2 rounds. And only one man out on the course who's doing better, and that's Hale Irwin, the United States Open champion. He's 6 under. Irwin leading the field by 2 strokes, still 6 under as he comes to the final hole, but he's a long, long way away in 3 and may well drop a stroke here. Huge swing from the right. Oh, well, would you believe it? A 68 yesterday and a 68 today. 136 for 2 rounds. What a way to finish. So he leads Ballesteros by 2 strokes, but Bill Longmuir still up there among the big boys at the halfway stage.
So to the 3rd day. Huge crowds, sunshine and a westerly breeze threatening to deteriorate to cold and damp.
And at the first, the par 3 hole, it's Ben Crenshaw from America. 7 strokes behind overnight, but putting for a 2. Beautiful putter, Crenshaw. Crenshaw, who finished joint runner-up last year in the championship, opens up with a birdie and is now level par. And behind him on the tee, this hole 206 yards, it's Ken Brown from Scotland and Graham Marsh from Australia. Marsh's tee shot. Level par overnight. Familiar, easy swing. Brown's already played. And that's getting a nice bounce forward by Marsh and gives him a distinct chance for a 2, but it's Brown to play his 2nd shot first. Not many courses open up with a par 3. Always quite a testing opener. Now, Ken Brown, with a reputation of being one of Europe's finest putters. A long way away, though. But what a lovely start by Ken Brown. Long way away, runs it to within 2 inches, and it settles the nerve ends very tidily. Remains 1 over par. Now Graham Marsh for a birdie 2. And all the way, that brings him to 1 under, and Brown 1 over. And up ahead, news comes that Mark James, the young Englishman, is also back to just 1 over par. Meanwhile, the shadow of Jack Nicklaus, the defending champion, hovers over this entire event. 1 under, but 5 behind overnight. Dropped a stroke at the first. This is the par 4, 2nd, Nicklaus playing 3. Awkward chip. Oh, well, that was going much too hard, and it clattered into the flag and disappeared, and what a fortunate break for Jack. Rather reminiscent of a few of Lee Trevino's shots we've seen over the years. Straightens the flag, back to 1 under at the 2nd hole. We're back at the tee. Tom Watson is in real trouble. That's his 2nd tee shot at the 2nd hole. This hole runs parallel to the railway. The railway's behind those bushes. Watson's first drive went flying out of bounds, so obviously he's heading for a 5, but more realistically probably a 6. Behind him in the final pair, Irwin leading Ballesteros and the championship by 2 strokes as they play their first hole of this 3rd round. But now Nicklaus at the 4th. This for a birdie 3. Never in doubt. So Jack ominously comes down to 2 under, 4 behind the leader, Hale Irwin, who parred the first, as indeed did Ballesteros. They're now on the 2nd tee, where Watson and so many have come to grief before. Ballesteros playing for safety with a 1-iron, and that could be disaster as well. The railway's very close on the right-hand side, and I do believe it could be taking Ballesteros' ball with it. Lots of searching in the bushes. Ballesteros hoping they'll have found it. In fact, I do believe they have, but it's right in the heart of the bush and completely unplayable. Nowhere for Ballesteros to drop it, so the sad, lonely walk back to the tee to play 3. Irwin waiting in the middle of the fairway to play his second shot. The ideal line from the tee is up the right-hand side. There's Ballesteros. This time very safe, up the left-hand side, and bounces just to the very side of the fairway. Now, after a considerable wait, it's Hale Irwin to play his second shot. 436 yards this hole. That's a good-looking shot. And, well, an outside chance for a 3, but a certain, almost certain, par 4. Not too bad at all with his challenger Ballesteros about to play his 4th from the more difficult angle. There's a bunker waiting. Yes, caught the bunker right in front of the flag, and Ballesteros having all sorts of problems here at the second. Irwin on his way to a par 4, Ballesteros playing 5. Look how deep that bunker is. Awkward shot. Just flicked up, played beautifully to within a couple of feet of the hole, but that is 5 strokes for Ballesteros. He'll pop that one in, but that's a double bogey 6 to put him only 2 under par, the same as Jack Nicklaus, and suddenly Irwin has a 4-stroke lead. At 1 under par, 2 British players, Bill Longmuir beginning to struggle a little, but Mark James up ahead, going very well indeed. There's another one straight in the middle. James +3 overnight, now 1 under. And now also back to 1 under, Nicklaus playing the long 7th. 551 yards. It's a 6-iron for Jack. He bogeyed the 6th. What a shot. Irwin and Ballesteros have dropped a shot. So, suddenly, if Nicklaus can get down in 2, he'll be on his own in 2nd place. He might even eagle it. Then he'd only be 2 off the lead. And Jack wishes he'd had another spoonful of porridge. But still a very good birdie 4. And Nicklaus chasing the leaders now at 2 under par.
The middle part of this 3rd day sees the weather deteriorate as the contenders, this is Crenshaw, round the turn. The second 9 at Lytham, with wind generally against, is notoriously tougher than the first. And today, those who climb up the leaderboard, like Crenshaw and Watson's at one time 3rd, these men climb mainly through the disasters of others, like Nicklaus, who dropped shots at 3 successive holes from the 11th, and like James, who does so at the 14th and 15th. Only Ballesteros birdies the 9th, then plays the next few holes in par. And with Irwin dropping strokes at the 10th and 11th, there's now only 1 stroke between them.
And that's the position as Mark James comes to the final hole of his 3rd round. He slipped to 1 over, and a wayward drive outside the ropes leaves a difficult 2nd. Across the bunkers, punches it forward. Very good effort from an awkward angle, and if he can get down in 2 from there, that'll be a round of 69, and he'll be only the 6th player to break the par of 71 today. James from the back of the green, long putt, good speed. He should get his par 4 from there, which in fact he does, and a round of 69, 1 over par. And that's how they stand as the leaders come to the notorious Lytham finish, facing wind and rain. Ballesteros at the 445-yard 14th. In light rough on the right, 6-iron. Oh, and it bounds through the green, leaving him an awkward little chip back. Just one stroke between them, Irwin and Ballesteros. And running, also through the back, but into light rough, and he can hardly believe it. Ballesteros, awkward little chip, but what a master he is at improvisation. You can see a fair amount of green to work with. Just watch the length of swing. Easy does it. Chips it up, but it's running too hard. And a rather cross and agitated Ballesteros. Now Irwin. Just chops it down and lets the ball ease to the hole side. Well judged. And he puts it in for his par 4. Now Ballesteros struggling for his par. No, so that's a bogey 5 for the Spaniard. And Hale Irwin now 2 strokes ahead as they march off to the 15th tee. Beautiful swing. The American Open champion on his way up the 15th. And well up ahead. Ben Crenshaw has reached the final green, but he's dropped strokes at the last 2 holes, and he's now 2 over. This for a 3. And look at it. Just caught the edge, and Ben is cross. Bob Byman playing along with Crenshaw. He's finished at 2 over. Crenshaw holds out. That's a 72 today, also finishing 2 over par. Back at the 15th, the leaders, both with quite long putts to save their pars. First, Ballesteros. Woefully short, and that's the second successive stroke drop to par by Ballesteros. Now Irwin from about 15 feet. Oh, smoothly done indeed. So Irwin leaves the 15th still 4 under, and now he's 3 ahead of Ballesteros. 2 pairs ahead. It's Jack Nicklaus's turn to finish. This for a par and a 73. Yeah, well held. 73, 2 over for the round, 1 over for the championship, and a lot of golf to be played tomorrow. His playing partner Dennis Clark from New Zealand, 76 today, 4 over. But Nicklaus tying with Mark James, who's already in the clubhouse. And the troubles continue for Ballesteros at the 17th, and again missed the green. And indeed, the perils of the Lytham finish beginning to get to Irwin as well. This is his 3rd shot at this par 4 hole. And struggling to get on the putting surface and failing. Irwin well short in 3. And both probably heading for bogeys at least here at the 17th. While just ahead, Bill Longmuir and Tom Watson finishing out. They've had all sorts of problems over the last 3 holes, but getting a big, enthusiastic hand, and it's Longmuir trying to finish with a birdie. Oh, it went round the edge, but it disappeared. He's had all his problems today. A 77, but ends with a birdie 3. That's 3 over for 3 rounds. Tom Watson, a 76, also 3 over, and neither at this moment on the leaderboard. Irwin took 6 at the par 4 17th, Ballesteros 5, so just 2 strokes in it as they come to the 18th. That's Ballesteros' tee shot. Picking up the tee rapidly, usually a good sign. And indeed, centre of the fairway. Now Irwin. And problems for Irwin. For once, the majestic swing let him down, and all sorts of permutations rear their head now. Ballesteros could get a birdie. Irwin might drop 2 or even 3 strokes. Oh, lots can happen in these closing stages of the 3rd round. Irwin lucky to find it at least hittable. Good line into the flag if he can get any sort of swing at it. The ground's pretty hard in front of the green. He could chase it up onto the putting surface. Gave it a good hit. And here it comes indeed. Hit it too well. Through the green. Fortunate to get a lie and making the most of it.
Great. See that? Yeah.
Now Ballesteros' second shot. Easy swing. And a chance, an outside chance for a 3. Great reception and huge crowds scampering round this 18th green to get their final views of the 3rd round. Irwin from the back of the green, playing 3. Has it got enough legs? Has it? Not quite. There's the Home Secretary, Willie Whitelaw, watching Mr. Ballesteros. Now, what possibilities here? If Ballesteros holds, Irwin misses, they're level. That's on line. Has it got the legs? Oh, no. Caramba! And other Spanish cries. What a good effort. Half an inch out. So that's a 4 for Ballesteros, a round of 75, level par, 2-1-3. Now can Irwin hole his for a par 4? The answer is yes, and a round of 75, a total of 211, that's 2 under par. 40 strokes for the inward 9, just showing yet again how difficult these last few holes are. So after all that drama, the 3rd day ends as it began, with Irwin the leader by 2 strokes from Severiano Ballesteros. But every man on the leaderboard and several others have a chance of winning this championship here at Royal Lytham tomorrow.
Saturday, July the 21st. The cold again, and the wind from the northwest stronger than ever and making the inward half an ordeal. And crowds who bring the week's total to nearly 135,000. Another record.
And quite soon, a touch of nostalgia for them as Tony Jacklin, who went out early, finishes. This for a birdie 3. And right into the middle. And what memories that brings back to us. Was it really 10 years ago? But he's 12 over, and I doubt whether that'll get him into the top 2 dozen by the end of the day. Meantime, before the leaders go out, the first significant moves are coming from this man, Asao Aoki from Japan. He's birdied 2 of the first 4 holes. He's just 1 over, 3 off the lead. Playing with him today, though, Tom Watson. 2 bogeys and a double bogey in the first 5 holes, and now 7. Yes, 7 over par. A couple of groups behind them at the par 4 second. It's Ben Crenshaw playing his second. 2 over par. Good-looking shot.
Now, whoa, ball. Check up. Oh, great shot. Oh, magic.
Splendid effort. Chance for a birdie.
Hey.
Playing with Crenshaw, Roger Davis from Australia. Second shot to this 436-yard par 4 second hole. Davis also 2 over par. And a superb shot. 2 obvious chances for birdies. And 2 pairs behind them at this familiar first hole, the leaders.
This is the final game of the afternoon. On the tee, Seve Ballesteros.
Level par, 2 behind Irwin. And a very nice, safe opening shot. Outside chance for a 2.
On the tee, hail Irwin.
Twice US Open champion. On line, is it enough? Pitch is short and doesn't get a bounce forward. A long way from the hole. Irwin, in fact, was actually 3 strokes ahead going into the final round of the American Open Championship last month and very nearly let it slip away under the pressure of the final few holes. Steady, steady. Oh, good speed, good pace, well judged. Should get his par 3. Now Ballesteros for a 2. And yes, what a beautiful way to start the final round. A 2 for Ballesteros. Now Irwin. Safely home for his par 3, but straight away he's only now 1 ahead of Ballesteros, not 2, as he follows him over to the second tee, where ahead on the green, Davis has got his par 4, and the hands of Crenshaw now caressing that putter grip and trying for his birdie 3. Yeah. Smoothly done, right into the centre. 1 over now. The same as Aoki, who's at the 6th with a chance for an eagle 3. Well, it was a beautiful putt. We've seen a lot stop dead on line just short of the hole, but the world match play champion just taps it in for a birdie. That's level par. And he's really threatening the leader, who's most unhappy. His second shot to the second green, well short. Now Ballesteros. Yesterday, Ballesteros took 6 at this hole. And that should set him up nicely, certainly, for nothing worse than a par 4. Now Irwin. From well short of this second green. There's a pitch and run. Up it comes, a little speedy. Look at it go, look at it go. 18, 20, 25 feet past the hole. And the great man making a bit of a mess of this hole. Ballesteros for a 3. Wandering offline a bit and always dribbled away. Distance was good, line was faulty. But that's a 4. Now Irwin, just off the putting surface. And the first one too hard, the second one short. And what a struggle this is becoming for the great man. This for a 5. Oh, no, 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 and hurriedly jabbed back in, and that's a double bogey 6. And the entire picture changes very rapidly. It's now Ballesteros leading, 1 under. Irwin level, Aoki now back to 1 over, and also at 1 over, but in fact he's just gone to level the Australian Roger Davis. He's had birdies at the 5th and 6th, and now he's playing the 7th with Ben Crenshaw. Crenshaw 1 over. 551 yards, a par 5. Easily reachable in 2 today. Just falls off the back of the green, very unluckily, into sand. Davis already on the green in 2, and with Crenshaw in the bunker, Ben coming under a little bit of pressure. Up the face of the bunker. Good easy swing back and through, beautifully played, and virtually assures himself of a birdie 4. Now this very interesting Australian, Roger Davis. This for an eagle 3. And no, but he also gets a good birdie. That's 3 in a row. And would you believe it, this rank outsider from Australia is now the joint leader. Crenshaw just 1 behind.
The 6th and 7th, the par 5s of the outward half, played downwind again today and become for a while an important factor. This 7th is where Aoki bogeyed, Watson double bogeyed and Davis and Crenshaw birdied. Now Nicholas and his partner James.
It's James' second shot. They've both just birdied the 6th. Here it comes, skipping and running and chasing. Could come off the hill. Will it? Will it? Yes. Oh, what a beauty.
James proceeds to birdie. So does Nicholas. Both 1 over. Next, Irwin, also 1 over, and Ballesteros.
Both dropped shots at the 4th, parred the 6th. So Davis is at this moment the outright leader. But look at this from Ballesteros. Majestic shot.
Ballesteros gets a birdie as well, so incidentally does Irwin, and once more the Spaniard is disputing the lead with Davis. And the permutations of leadership continue.
Crenshaw, 1 off the lead at the 13th. And will it, will it? It does, so now Crenshaw takes a share of the lead as well, and the plot thickens.
Meanwhile, Ballesteros has bogeyed the 10th, so has Irwin, who drops a shot at the 11th as well. For Davis, the moment of truth comes at the 14th.
This for a 1 over par 5. Crucial putt. Oh no, jabbed it, and that's an important one missed by Davis, who really has played so very well today and even threatened to win, but toppled here at the 14th by that very sad double bogey 6. So now the lead is shared by Crenshaw and Ballesteros. The Spaniard at the par 3 12th, 201 yards and a very deceptive hole. A sheltered tee, you don't feel the wind, but the wind and the sloping green make it a very difficult target. Ballesteros' tee shot, and that is not going to find the putting surface. Leaves him quite a tricky chip. Meanwhile, up ahead at the 18th, the crowd have just seen Bill Longmuir finish, and finished sadly with a disastrous 82. And now, great interest in Peter McAvoy, the only amateur to have qualified for this final round. Wayne Player, in fact, played 3 rounds but failed to reach the final day. Now it's McAvoy putting for a round of 77. All the way, 10 over for the championship, and in these conditions, that'll be good enough to put him in the top 20. And for the 2nd year running, he'll win the silver medal for the leading amateur. McAvoy 10 over, Bill Longmuir, the one-time leader, 14 over. And now back to the 12th and Ballesteros. He's chipped up. This is a really crucial putt. This to salvage his par 3 and to stay tied with Crenshaw. Yes, bravely holed, a fighting 3. And should the young Spaniard win this championship, well, he may well look back on that putt as being one of the best he'd holed all week. Crenshaw, I suppose, must be favourite, because he's nearing the end of his round, whereas Ballesteros is just about to enter Lytham's tigerish finish. He is at the 13th, 339 yards. He might well have driven the green, but in fact he just caught the back of a bunker up the right, flashed it out of the sand. Marvellous shot, which spins off the green just to the edge of the fairway, some 12 yards from the hole. Irwin fading a little now, 2 over par, Ballesteros needing to get down in 2 to stay level with par and with Crenshaw. Gives it a bump up the slope. Oh, and the young matador is absolutely delighted. And why not? Against all the odds, he takes the outright lead yet again and can't wait to get to the next hole. But here's Crenshaw, just off the fairway to the right of the 17th. This hole, 453 yards. And it was here that Bobby Jones, the great American amateur, clinched his victory in the Open Championship in 1926. A difficult second shot, but Crenshaw only 1 stroke behind with only 2 holes left to play, and Ballesteros has 5. Crenshaw forcing an iron from the rough, and he pulls it round left, and that was not a good spot to go at all. And Crenshaw faced with a very awkward third shot indeed. Just look at that ball, almost level with his knees. Has he given it enough? No, he hasn't, and he's caught the bunker short of the green. He was pitching that at least 20 yards short of where he would have liked to have done, and disaster staring him in the face. That's his 4th shot, and he's played a pretty good one, about 6 feet or so away from the hole, and that's going to be a crucial shot for Crenshaw. He must hold that to only drop 1 stroke to par. No, and that's a 2 over par 6. So once again, this 17th hole has taken its toll. Crenshaw, who was looking very much a potential champion, goes sadly to the 18th, having dropped 2 strokes. All the same, Ballesteros has just dropped a stroke at the 14th. Just 2 strokes in it, and there's Ballesteros' tee shot on its way at the 15th, and that's going well to the left, way, way to the left. Ballesteros under great pressure. He's level par and in trouble at the 15th. Crenshaw 2 over, playing the final hole. And Jack Nicklaus has just birdied the 16th, also 2 over. Indeed, he has this putt at the 17th for another birdie. If he can hold this one, who knows what might happen. And has he done it? Oh, would you believe it? And if that first one had gone in, Nicklaus would have got within 1 stroke of Ballesteros. Who's played a good second shot at the 15th. He's got it up some 35, 40 yards short of the flag, but needs to get down in 2 from off the green for his par 4. An awkward chip. Wonderful touch from Ballesteros and great nerve. And he remains level par and still the leader by 2 strokes. And ahead at the 18th, or the 72nd, a slight delay. The spectator, been hit by Roger Davis's ball, now being taken away for a little bit of medical attention. And now it'll be Crenshaw's turn to try and get down in 2 for his par. Beautifully done from an awkward position. Now, this for a 71. Boomed it, 2 over for the championship, but oh, how very different it might have been without that 6 at the 17th. That's the position as Ballesteros drives this blind tee shot from the 16th. Oh, he gives it a tremendous clatter, and that's going miles to the right. Some 60 or 70 yards to the right of this fairway. Well, I do believe he's away off there and found a car park. Well, now, anything could happen. Crenshaw, who's safely in the clubhouse, could still win. This man could win. Nicholas's second shot to the final green, and needs a good one. No, short, on line, and caught the bunker. Nicholas 2 over, and in the bunker, Ballesteros in a car park.
So you have a free drop, and you also have we play the line of sight rule.
Yeah.
In relation to parked motor cars.
So where I must drop?
You take the nearest point, giving you complete relief, no nearer the
Nearest
hull.
point must be over there, right?
That's correct.
Well, Seve a little fortunate there off that wayward tee shot. He found some cars. You can see them parked some 60 or 70 yards off the fairway. He can move away from the parked cars.
Mark, take 1 club length from there, and then mark that spot, and then you have 2 club lengths from there.
So, very delicate situation, and all the rules being applied absolutely correctly. Ballesteros now has found the true spot to drop, and how lucky he has been to be able to get that sort of lie from that wild tee shot. It's still a difficult shot, though, across the green, across the bunkers, with the wind whipping from the left. Ballesteros with a very lofted club. And it's a good one. He's got it onto the putting surface. The gods are smiling on this young man today. He's been rather wayward and got away with it all so far. 2 putts from here to remain 2 ahead. And he only needs 1. Well, the golfing gods really are with the smiling Spaniard today. Well, well, well. Meanwhile, back at the 72nd, Jack Nicklaus's very difficult 3rd shot. Oh, splendid. What a grandstand finish by Nicklaus. One of the most difficult shots in the game of golf, exploded out to a mere 4 feet or so. Now Mark James, he's dropped a couple of strokes today. He's now playing 4. Oh, would you believe it? And that's the way to finish in front of the packed stands. 73 for James, a total of 287. That's 3 over par, and almost certain to take 4th place. Very good stuff from Mark James. Now Nicklaus for a 4. Oh, well holed, sir. A round of 72, 286, 2 over par, and ties with Ben Crenshaw. Meanwhile, Ballesteros, would you believe it, in trouble yet again at the 17th. This is the 15th time he's been in a greenside bunker during this championship. Goes past some 10 feet or so. This one for his par 4. And the hole must be beginning to look as large as a bucket. The step is jaunty and speedy, There's still, though, one treacherous hole to go, the 72nd. Bushes down the right and bunkers, plenty of bunkers down the left. And he's given that an almighty crack, and that's going way down to the left. Spectators bob.
Thank you. Sorry.
Hale Irwin, who was 2 shots ahead, out of it now. But perhaps we're just moments away from Seve Ballesteros becoming the youngest Open champion of this century. Well, that's the first signs of caution we've seen from the young man. He's played it out safely to the front of the green. Irwin coming through the crowd and surrendering. And somewhere back in the mass, Ballesteros still battling his way through. The first prize here, £15,000, but that is really only the tip of the commercial iceberg. Ballesteros' third shot. And what a finish, what a grandstand finish yet again from the young Spanish wizard. Right to the hole side. It's almost as if the ball were magnetized to the hole. Though once again, this strange business of no American professional managing to conquer the charms or the terrors of Royal Lytham goes on. Hale Irwin playing his third shot. Second shot drifted across into sand. Good one. Well played, sir. Must be a great disappointment for Irwin, now putting for a round of 78. And gets it, but that's 5 over par, total of 289 for Hale Irwin. And now Ballesteros for a round of 70. Yes, there it is. 1 under par, 283, and a remarkable victory.
This is a victory illogical, brilliant and historic. Illogical because here is a champion who today was offline from the tee at the last 7 holes. Brilliant through its audacity. Historic because he's the first Spaniard to win and the first continental since 1907.
And a moment of typical Spanish emotion as he's acclaimed by his brothers.
Please, he hasn't yet recorded. He hasn't yet recorded. Come on, Seve. Well done. Come on, Seve. Will you go back?
And just think, he's only 22. If his injured back stands up to the pressures, what heights, I wonder, may he reach? Jack Nicklaus with Crenshaw, runner-up for the 7th time.
Champion golfer of the year and winner of the trophy and gold medal, Seve Ballesteros.
Ballesteros, who today for millions has transformed golf from a technical science to a great adventure.